I'm making this video basically because a group of people, largely hosted by Adam Sandler, the neighbor Rod Hasbury, is criminally involved in this. I'll start by saying this. You see these words? They're kind of, I crossed them out so they're illegible somewhat. It says Chelsea Potts and Darcy Panic. I put it there the other day when these disgusting fucking idiots, in the course of a overall schema of trying to drive me to suicide by forcing drug withdrawals on me, they had me put a running motorcycle in here. I got it turned on. I put a tarp over it and got it. There's a tent next to it. I sat in there saying, "I'm not giving you another day of my life, you invasive rapist shit." And I prepared to die because I was not because I wanted to die. I'm not suicidal. I want nothing more than to live. But this disgusting mustache licking retard Chelsea Potts is such a fucking guttural piece of shit, and the people doing this are such invasive garbage. I literally didn't want to give these insults to human integrity and insults to human life, such as they are, another moment of my life to exploit and use for their purposes. But her, Chris Kattan, Adam Sandler, and other loser shit involved in this have raped my life with the consent of my father, Paul Manette, who's a disgusting idiot, low-life criminal himself. And basically, because of these idiots being so fucking insecure about my sexuality, they couldn't cope with someone being different, even though the rest of the world adapted. But these fucking idiots couldn't. I mean, there's minority status laws in place to protect me, but pieces of guttural, worthless shit like Chelsea Potts, being the fucking garbage she is, she decided she was just entitled to go destroy a life and did so to the best of her ability. And basically, I've lost 19 years of my life today. Um, I'm going to make this video and I'm just going to address a few things because I'm giving this to the RCMP tomorrow morning, and I want all to be documented well. I'm well aware I'm under surveillance. The rest of the world has been watching this because these assholes have televised it. I never consented to be a part of any media produced. Adam Sandler came into my life and raped it, basically. I showed him from day one of his being present and addressing me directly the first day documentation from a Freedom of Information Act request I had done that established in no uncertain terms he was aiding and financing the continuity of an act of human torture that had taken place. It was the result of a gay conversion therapy failing and me living through it. And these idiots like Paul Manette, Chelsea Potts, Darcy Panic, these pieces of fucking guttural shit responsible for torturing me, stood there saying, "Whoa, what do we do now? He lived through it. He doesn't have self hate. He doesn't have fucking a different sexuality. What do we do?" So they got the funding of Adam Sandler and they went around trying to delude the general public, telling people the situation was as it is, doing a downplayed version of things to lessen. It was like a fucking, like, you compare a fucking being beaten to death with a chain to being tickled with a feather, and that's the difference. They did a toned down version of what they were doing to me in front of people from the general public, rotating different third parties in, and they bullshitted everyone inside and deceived them as to the nature of what they'd actually done to me, which literally, without even any hint of bias in my assertion of this, was one of the biggest atrocities that ever was committed on Canadian soil. And this, I'm someone who's familiar with residential schools and Japanese internment, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You can take me, Peter Anthony Manette, challenge me to take a lie detector test, any number of them, on this very subject or anything else you can think of, because I'm the only honest person in this situation. I'll give you 10,000 Canadian dollars. That's my word, given in a verbal contract. If I'm even hinting, there's even a hint of bias, like there's any untruth whatsoever in the statement I just made. Adam Sandler is a piece of fucking disgusting, guttural, lying shit. Paul Manette is on par with him. My own family was reprehensible shit. Maybe my mother could be lessened from her involvement in this, but these people are such reprehensible shit for what they did to me, and they're still spying on me and forcibly talking at me as I make this video. I'm making this video in a state of duress because this filthy, ingrate bitch Adam Sandler is still actively doing this and funding it. People I don't consider friends anymore. I don't want any asshole who is involved in this coming into my life again. They had no justification. Josh Davidson, Josh Finlay, these fucking idiots shouldn't be watching me over illegal surveillance, but they are, and they're continuing this abuse and violation done to my life, trying to provoke me to self harm because they think if I go to a mental hospital, they'll get away with committing these atrocities. I want to say very clearly, Kaloran Gordon is not a friend of mine now. She threw it the garbage a long time ago when she helped continue this shit. Woke me up the other day doing this shit. Her father, Brian Gordon, is criminally responsible for, in large part, for this taking place because him and Rod Hasberg, the next door neighbor, were among the first to lie to the RCMP, to Constable Richie Lee, during an investigation into a hate crime that took place following them trying to bully me out of school. Basically, when Constable Richie Lee was investigating directly after them poisoning my dog, who was my best friend for like many years, and they decided they'd take that away from me and try and provoke me into suicidal ideation by escalating the amount of emotional turmoil I had to go through losing my best friend and continuing this trend of abusing me. But here's what happened. I was being attacked in a hate crime, following me home from school. People manually attacked me, vandalized shit, and they yelled shit at me. When wireless smart meters came to the Saanich Peninsula, this is very relevant. Wireless smart meters came to the Saanich Peninsula. That very day, the nature of harassment changed into something very evil and life-destroying. All of a sudden, the very next day, and I was writing petitions against wireless smart meters going on, it was disrupted when I was going to confront the technician doing this. It was disrupted by them poisoning my dog and her having to be put down. I lost all concern of wireless smart meters and I was grieving my dog's death. As soon as they're on the next day, the people harassing me were talking directly into my nervous system, aware of what I was doing, and raping my life, plaguing it with the most disgusting, evil commentary any evil piece of shit like Darcy Panic, Chelsea Potts, or anyone else could deliver to a defenseless mind. They couldn't get away from it. These low-life pieces of animal shit doing this, who are justifying it to me in the worst cases, saying, "You're the richest man alive." I want to establish right now, because this is going to the RCMP before anyone else, Adam Sandler is a piece of disgusting lying shit. He's told people I'm delusional from my ADHD medication, which they've been trying to take from me in order to disable me from talking about the atrocity they've committed. This is how disgusting these fucking low-life shit actually are. They are the most fucking hideous, abusive idiots that ever lived. Chelsea Potts, Kaloran Gordon, Darcy Panic, not Sophie Reed, not one of these disgusting fucks should ever be allowed to smoke crystal meth again. If any one of these assholes has ever seen the pipe in their mouth, it should be smashed from their fucking mouth and they should be fucking pushed to the ground, restrained, and put in a fucking mental hospital. Because what happens when you give these monsters amphetamine is they destroy human lives. These idiots, however, funded with Adam Sandler's money, went about destroying a life by this means, delivering, "Shut your fucking face, you idiot." And literally, even as I'm making this video for the RCMP to receive, these disgusting pieces of shit who have engaged in forcing me into sleep deprivation, tormented me one after another with transmissions of guttural, abusive commentary I could do nothing to evade, day after day for 19 years, with my parents facilitating this abuse. These pieces of worthless shit have taken 19 years of my life today. Adam Sandler should be thrown in a fucking cell for the rest of his goddamn life. He's a disgusting, guttural piece of goddamn shit who doesn't deserve to live on this planet. These assholes, after killing my dog, lied to the police, to a Constable Richie Lee, claiming I was delusional and hearing voices and no one was harassing me. They sold this lie to Richie Lee. I could prove it though, because I cracked the neighbor's WP encrypted network. What happened with this though, I had a stack of different documents showing Constable Richie Lee he was being lied to during the investigation, to the effect of them saying I was crazy and delusional from drug abuse when I never was. I could prove all of it. Even the provincial electorate of our province, Brian Gordon, who's the father of one of the involved, lied to my detriment alongside Rod Hasberg, the neighbor, who's a disgusting fucking coward. Rod Hasberg, his wife Margie Hasberg, they both lied to the police multiple times to my detriment. In later years, Rod Hasberg renewed his initial lies to the Sydney RCMP department to a different RCMP, or a different police department, locally at the Saanich Police Department. What this asshole did, after a friend of one of the involved, Chelsea Potts, briefly came and went from my life after asking me for help. She went around slandering me, claiming I abused her and gave her a black eye when I never did a goddamn thing but go out of my way to help her, putting my life on hold so her selfish, disgusting idiot ass could fucking come and go, robbing my parents, causing problems, and trying to give me post-traumatic stress disorder. What this idiot did, as she did this, because she was lying, I started posting things online, and I wrote a letter to the local police. I said, it's been said that I abused this woman and gave her a black eye. If so, I want to be arrested because I don't approve of people beating up women. Come arrest me. Basically, I did this because I wanted a lie detector test, and the pieces of shit tormenting me every waking moment of my life took efforts to prevent that happening. I'm just going to check that the video is still running here because it's very important. I have this. Okay. I sent this letter to the Saskatchewan Police Department saying this because this guttural fuck named Chelsea Potts was running around doing this. Rod Hasbury being criminally involved and being someone who has me under surveillance 24 hours a day, as though this disgusting pig from next door has a right to do this. And he was just threatening me. I pointed a flare gun at the fuck's head. He just threatened me and they called the police. Here's the catch. When the police came, I just honestly told them everything going on with me. And now I have access to social workers and police. I have a card with an RCMP officer's number on it. And I can just call them back and openly talk to them. These assholes are still trying to fucking provoke me through prolonged verbal abuse to any distressed state they can get, where they think they'll be able to get me into a mental hospital because one of the criminally involved works at Eric Martin Institute professionally. She's an administrator there, and they tried to take my life previously doing this. Lauren Gordon, you know what? I'd say she'd be a friend of mine if she rectified the harm she did. She had 19 years to do it. I think it's about time to cut the fucking reins on this shit. Yeah, that's not a friend of mine. I went out of my way to protect this person from her own criminal action. Because initially, when they lied to the police, I was like, what? I knew this girl. I didn't do anything to her at all. I never did one instance of malicious action to her, intentional harm in my life. Why would she be telling lies to my detriment in doing this? And I just couldn't get it, that some people are actually just pieces of complete shit. I didn't understand that until recently. And for that reason, I lost 19 years of my life. And she got other vindictive, petty assholes like my sister or her husband, both of which I don't even consider fit to raise children at this point for their involved in this, and they're just standing there spying on me and abusing me. Basically, these idiots, they lied to the RCMP to my detriment, claiming I was hallucinating and everything, and I said, no, I'm being electronically harassed. Look, when I went about trying to show Constable Richie Lee how I cracked the neighbor's WMP encrypted network using a parabolic grid antenna attached to a D-Link DIR 825 router that I had OpenWord installed to and was running Kismet, and that's not how I obtained the key. He used the MAC address of the router with no commas, and I guessed. And that was the key to the wireless network. So I pointed the antenna there, and I fucking looked at the traffic, and what do you know? This girl, they said, was a hallucination, not harassing me. They claimed I was hallucinating her. Well, just like the father lied about her presence here, well, there's all her encrypted logins and shit in the network. And basically, I went about trying to show him. He starts shouting at me, saying, oh, I'll let you off with a warning for hacking computer networks. And I was like, no, you misunderstand, though. And basically, he walked out on a massive pile of court admissible evidence. It was never illegal what I did. Guessing a network password and doing that because it's in the air, going over our property at my parents' house, made it entirely legal. And he had no right to say that. So, justifiably, I can say, if the RCMP, upon seeing this video, after I've been tortured for 19 years and exploited in this disgusting fashion, where I was dehumanized and treated like nothing, so a piece of shit like Adam Sandler could try lying to people. They're walking around taking a drug that enabled me to fucking optimize my life. I never harmed anyone, but these disgusting, public perception manipulating coward shit like Darcy Panic, Lauren Gordon, Chelsea Potts, they went around claiming I was delusional from the drug I used to optimize my life and help myself contribute more to society. Well, as opposed to just taking away everything I would have given to society in terms of contribution. This disgusting fuck wanted to make my life unhappy. She wanted to ruin it, wanted to make it a wasted piece of shit. So selfish fucking pig Chelsea Potts, Lauren Gordon, and other assholes like Darcy Panic and Melissa Oliver, They went about lying to everyone, saying I was fucked from drug abuse when I used the drug responsibly. These assholes I mentioned should never in their fucking life be given the right to use that drug again. I told this disgusting pig, Chelsea Potts, what I used crystal meth for was as an entheogen and sacrament because it enabled me to optimize my life. You know what this disgusting fucking animal did? She contacted the drug dealer I used, slandered me to them, and within a day, corrupted it. The next purchase of drugs I got was corrupted with adulterants meant to hurt me. She's not even a fucking civilized human being. This pig, Chelsea Potts, should be thrown in a jail cell the rest of her fucking disgusting life. And if anyone, any person who cares about human decency, truth, or anyone who cares about any aspect of human beings being anything other than filthy, deceitful animals, ever fucking sees any one of those named with putting a meth pipe to their lips again, grab that shit and smash it on the fucking floor in front of them, because these disgusting, inhuman, selfish pieces of shit don't ever deserve to use that drug again. Kaloran Gordon is a curse and a fucking undeserving pile of shit. Her and Sophie Reed should not be using crystal meth. They should be locked in a fucking mental hospital themselves or in jail. They're horrible fucking people and disgusting shit. They aren't fit to even live in human society. This is the start, what I'm saying here, this is the start of what I'm going to elaborate to the RCMP with on what was done to me, because I have documented all this. I got the first of 3 Freedom of Information Act requests I put out for. I put 3 through. 3 requests. I got 2 back because Paul Manette and Chelsea Potts have the mail key. I had to pay $200 to get a P.O. box recently because they forced me into a drug withdrawal. I was going to start ordering my drugs because these idiots wanting to control me through chemical dependency as they trapped me in my life in this inhuman fashion and tried to control me through drug dependency. Literally, the degree of sickening control these abusive monsters have done to my life is so reprehensibly revolting. I pray to God these disgusting fucks are never let out of jail. Including that fucking idiot father of mine, Paul Manette. That said, I only got 1 of the Freedom of Information Act requests back, but I got enough in that Kaloran Gordon herself could be put away for fucking the rest of her life, basically, for having subjected me to this for 20 years. But what I want to make clear, I'm going to stop this recording. This is going to be an intro to all the documented written work I give you when I come in tomorrow morning. I'm going to make this perfectly clear. I have enough proof from this going on and Constable Richie Lee's response in multiple instances to people involved in this, interacting with me, that he walked out on court admissible evidence leaving me to be tortured, something he later lied about on record. I confronted his partner at the RCMP dispatch in Sydney over, that I intend to file a lawsuit against the Royal Canadian Mounted Police for criminal negligence resulting in my losing 19 years of my life to being tortured and fucking disgraced and abused by this selfish, disgusting, misrepresenting group of people I hope to never fucking see again in my life. If you do not assist me in getting these disgusting, reprehensible pigs out of my life, because I'd be denied medical assistance even. Dr. Voon at Royal Jubilee Hospital is criminally involved in this. He denied me medical treatment. Ryan Lesage is criminally involved in this. His mother at the Saskatchewan Peninsula Hospital is responsible for the first instance of my being denied medical treatment. 2 instances of my going to an ER, collectively over 6 hours spent waiting in an ER, and because of these disgusting shit contacting desk staff at the hospital, I wasn't given medical treatment and I was stuck living in a living hell where this fucking godless pig was able to fucking do this to me. I'm going to make this clear one more time. I am giving an ultimatum to the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. I will put this on YouTube before I bring it in person to the RCMP dispatch in the hopes that any of the crooked shit that have facilitated the harm these people did to me, and there was involvement of crooked RCMP officers. There's involvement of an officer from the Saskatchewan Police Department named Lacey, who has a hatred for me from fucking grade 6, who's been criminally involved in this. And I am going to file a lawsuit against you if you don't rectify this harm immediately. I'm currently, as this video is being made, I'm listening to these pieces of shit repeatedly, one after another, assure me no one cares and no one will help me, trying to demoralize me about even talking to it because these are disgusting shit. They're monsters. You do this kind of abuse to someone and trap them in their own life doing it, these filth should be removed from my life. It's not right that Kaloran Gordon and Sophie Reed are sitting there smoking $4,000 worth of crystal meth they stole from me so they could force me through the hardship of a drug withdrawal after I used a drug responsibly every day for 14 years. Like these idiots just didn't realize that was enough to almost kill someone, forcing a sudden drug withdrawal on them I've now been going through for 4 months. So these disgusting, undeserving shit could do drugs they didn't deserve, and I could be tormented with every asshole they chose to give a transmitter to hurting me. Well, I want to make it perfectly clear beyond what I'm saying to the RCMP and giving this ultimatum to them. And I say ultimatum in this respect. I know it doesn't mean shit to you if you tell me to fuck off, you're not going to help me, and you don't care if I file a lawsuit. I'm saying ultimatum in the sense that if you don't pay attention to this, I'll fucking take the law into my own hands and I'll get these disgusting fucks out of my life permanently, one way or another. That's going on YouTube. About 5 o'clock this morning, this will be on YouTube. So I hope you take it seriously and pay attention to everything I have, because as opposed to this group of shit that Adam Sandler has basically been responsible for mobilizing to do this to me. He funded the continuity of an act of torture, literally. I have documented proof of every word I say. I've been documenting this for 19 years. Every day I was subjected to felonious harm, felonious criminal acts being done to me. I did nothing any day of this to justify any of what this shithead liar Chelsea Potts or Darcy Panic claim took place in their slander of me to do this. And they committed felonious acts against me every day, violated every human and charter right I have, and they have nothing to defend themselves. They have a group of loser shit claiming I harmed them when I did nothing. That's all they have, a group of people telling the same lie at once. You take any one of those pieces of shit and you take them out of the group and question them independently in the right way, you'll find from day one onward, even if I couldn't establish it, and I can with documented proof, I can establish they lied during an RCMP investigation day one of RCMP involvement. And from that point on, it was just carrying on a lie they told over and over to my detriment. Every day I had to live with pieces of shit waking me up, cursing me for being a liability because they made me one, cursing me just for being alive because they didn't want to be found out as the fucking horrible people they are. The son of Ron Hasberg is a piece of fucking criminal shit. Kaloran Gordon, Chelsea Potts, Sophie Reed, and I'm saying this because I don't want these pieces of shit ever coming into my life again. They, in every sense of the word, I didn't fucking make a big deal out of this as I was tortured year after year because I used to consider these fucking filth my friends. I'll never consider them friends again. They're fucking garbage. And I never want to see them again. So please take this very seriously. You know I'll be in tomorrow, and I'm someone who survived 19 years of every fucking moment of my life being spent with some piece of shit because they enabled. How they did this was I started this with these assholes saying the most godless, evil shit they could, trying to destroy my mind with endless sessions of people saying the cruelest things they could think to me, following me to work after fucking just one after another, saying the most godless, evil shit, trying to provoke me to suicide. The kind of shit you would say to someone, you wouldn't even say it to them if you're about to kill them. It's like the kind of shit even like you would want them to die. It was so disgusting because you wouldn't want someone repeating it. I listened to that every moment of the day, and they switched shift, so I never got a chance to rest. It was just constantly this shit doing this to me. Mark Doxey was a fucking piece of shit in this. I blasted in the first week of this. I made an educated, calm decision. I bought air horns for boat safety, and I blasted my ear canals, trying to deafen myself, thinking I would be healthier if I learned to read lips. And these disgusting fucks stood there laughing as blood poured out of my ears onto the hardwood floor, with my parents sitting below watching TV not caring. And these disgusting monsters are walking around producing media about this today, funded by this piece of filthy, godless shit, Adam Sandler. And an employee of Brian Gordon's, my brother-in-law, is actually standing there like a piece of guttural idiot shit, acting like he has a right to be violating my right in this my life in this respect. Well, I will tell him and his piece of shit wife I never want to see again to shut the fuck up and get out of my goddamn life, because I don't want garbage like this anywhere near me. So please take that seriously. I will be putting this on YouTube. I'll link it to your Facebook page. Every RCMP dispatch I can find linked on Facebook. I'm going to upload this video and link it to you and say, please help rectify the harm you've done to my life. Because Constable Richie Lee buying into the lies of Dave McGilvery, Lauren Gordon, and other people who lied their ass off from day one in this after killing my actual friend, a dog of over 10 years, who was so intelligent she was starting to form consonants when she spoke. But that's another massive advancement in things. Lauren Gordon, Chelsea Potts, Sophie Reed, Melissa Oliver, and other assholes who claimed I abused escorts, despite the fact I don't use escorts. I'm an ABDL sexual identity person who is viciously attacked for it and subjected to a hate crime for the past 19 years. Because these atrocious, disgusting shit wanted to impose on my life. That's another thing that got taken from the world. So please rectify this, because you know what? I know right and wrong, and I know honesty well enough, even if some RCMP and police officers don't. And I don't give a fuck if this piece of shit Lacey threatens me over it. If you don't want to rectify the harm Richie Lee enabled to happen here, I'll sure as fuck go out of my way to take the law in my own hands, and I'll make sure the world is fixed of this shit. Let's put that on YouTube right away.